Under the bright lights of the studio, laughter usually echoes when Steve Harvey takes the stage. His booming voice, quick wit, and infectious humor have made millions around the world smile. But on this particular day, something different happened. It is something raw, deeply human, and utterly unforgettable. For once, the man known for making others laugh found himself speechless, his eyes glistening with tears. It began as an ordinary taping of the Steve Harvey Show. The audience was lively, clapping and cheering as Steve wrapped up a segment filled with jokes and heartfelt advice. He was in his element, charismatic, confident, and warm. But when the producers announced a surprise message from a special guest, the energy in the room shifted. A hush fell over the crowd. Then, the giant screen behind Steve flickered to life. On it appeared a familiar face: Senator John Kennedy. Known for his candid, often witty speeches and down-to-earth personality, Kennedy's presence instantly commanded attention. But this wasn't a political statement or a formal greeting. It was something far more personal. "Steve," Kennedy began, his voice steady but tender, "I wanted to take a moment to tell you something you might not hear enough. You've made a difference, not just as a comedian or host, but as a man who's used his platform to lift others. You've shown people that faith, family, and perseverance matter. You've given hope to those who had none." The audience sat in stunned silence. Steve smiled at first, nodding in humility. But as Kennedy continued, emotion began to swell in his eyes. "I remember hearing you talk about the times you slept in your car, praying that your big break would come," Kennedy said. "And now, look at you. You're not just successful, you're significant. You remind us that even in our darkest hours, if we hold on to faith, God can turn pain into purpose." That was the moment Steve Harvey broke. His head bowed, his hand covered his face, and his shoulders shook as tears streamed down. The audience, too, was visibly moved, as some wiping their eyes, others whispering soft words of encouragement. It wasn't just a talk show anymore, it was a moment of truth, a glimpse into the soul of a man who had spent decades turning pain into laughter. As the applause swelled, Steve finally looked up, his voice trembling. "You know," he said softly, "I didn't expect that. Sometimes you go through life trying to do what's right, trying to make people smile, and you forget that maybe somebody out there sees your heart. I've been blessed beyond measure, but to hear that out from someone I respected, that means more than I can say." He paused, taking a deep breath. "I remember when I was at my lowest. I had nothing and no money, no direction. I was sleeping in my car, washing up in gas station bathrooms. I prayed every single night for a chance, and I promised God that if He gave me one, I'd use it to help others. And that's all I've ever tried to do." The audience erupted in applause, some standing, others calling out, "We love you, Steve." It was a rare and powerful moment, one that transcended celebrity and touched the human spirit. Later in the show, Steve explained that messages like Kennedy's remind him why he continues to work tirelessly, even after decades in the industry. "It's not about fame anymore," he said. "It's about purpose. Every story I tell, every joke I share, I want somebody out there to feel like they can make it too." By the end of the taping, the emotional tone had transformed the atmosphere. What began as a light-hearted afternoon turned into a lesson in gratitude, resilience, and the power of words. Viewers watching from home flooded social media with messages of love and admiration for Harvey, praising his vulnerability and authenticity. "He's more than just a talk show host," one fan wrote. "He's living proof that no matter where you start, you can rise with faith, humility, and heart." And perhaps that's the real magic of that moment. In a world where people are often celebrated for their success, Steve Harvey reminded everyone that true strength lies in sincerity, in allowing yourself to be seen, flaws and all. As the lights dimmed and the credits rolled, Steve took one final look at the audience and said, "You don't have to be perfect to inspire people. You just have to be real." His words hung in the air, soft yet powerful, an echo of hope for anyone struggling, anyone chasing a dream, anyone waiting for their breakthrough. That day, laughter gave way to tears, and tears gave way to truth. Steve Harvey showed that even those who bring joy to millions sometimes need to be reminded that they, too, are loved, valued, and seen. And in that moment, the world didn't just see a celebrity. They saw a man grateful, humbled, and beautifully human.